At the southernmost edge of Egypt, where the Nile abandons its wide northern curves and slips into a deeper, calmer channel, lies Aswan, a city of invisible borders and millennia-old silences. Here, the river is not just a flow of water, it is a cultural backbone, a granite mirror, a persistent heartbeat between palms and dunes. Aswan does not impose itself, it reveals itself. It doesn't shout its history, it whispers it, through carved temples, colossal dams, and white boats resting like floating papyri. Since the time of the Pharaohs, Aswan has been more than a city, it has been a frontier. Once known as Swenet, it marked the southern gate to the kingdom of Upper Egypt. It was the royal quarry of the Pharaohs, the source of obelisks that still rise in Luxor, Rome, and Paris, and the home of Nubian culture, still alive today in colors, textiles, and music. Today, with over 1.5 million inhabitants, Aswan remains a point of equilibrium. Between water and desert, tradition and modernity, what endures and what flows. When walking through its markets, one can still feel the pulse of the Sahara meeting the breath of the Nile. The scent of spices mingles with the breeze from the river, and every corner carries the resonance of a place that has seen centuries pass without losing its essence. In the mid-20th century, Aswan was chosen as the site for one of the most ambitious engineering feats of all time, the Aswan High Dam. This vast wall of concrete and earth stretches for 3,830 meters, with a base nearly 1 kilometer wide, and rises to a height of 111 meters. Built between 1960 and 1970, it forever altered the landscape, the flow of the Nile, and the history of Egypt. Behind the dam, an artificial sea was born, Lake Nasser, one of the largest reservoirs in the world. It extends for 550 kilometers, 350 of them within Egypt, the rest in Sudan. Its surface area spans more than 5,250 square kilometers, and it holds up to 132 billion cubic meters of water. The dam not only controls the Nile's floods, which once both nourished and devastated the land at their whim, it also supplies power. The hydroelectric plant has an installed capacity of 2,100 megawatts, with 12 turbines generating over 10 billion kilowatt hours annually. That power lights cities and fuels industries, but it came at a cost. Over 100,000 people, most of them Nubians, were displaced by the rising waters of the lake. Dozens of temples and archaeological sites were submerged. Only a few, like Abu Simbel, were saved, moved stone by stone in a colossal operation that took 4 years and millions of dollars. The relocation of Abu Simbel alone required the cutting and reassembly of over 1,000 blocks, each weighing several tons. It was an unprecedented collaboration of archaeologists and engineers, a global effort to preserve human heritage from vanishing under the flood. Seen from the air, Lake Nasser looks like a blue lung in a golden body. Its creation changed not only the region's ecology, it opened new navigation routes, enabled agricultural expansion, and became a haven for migratory birds. Species like the Nile perch and tigerfish thrive in its waters, supporting local markets and a growing export industry. On its shores, the sun falls like liquid light, reflected in calm ripples that seem to paint new skies each day. For some, the lake is a modern blessing. For others, a scar on the memory of the Nile. They say that from the unfinished obelisk, a massive column more than 42 meters long and weighing 1,200 tons, still joined to the bedrock. You can still hear echoes of the ancient stonecutters who began its carving over 3,000 years ago. The nearby Nubian villages preserve a rich legacy through architecture, oral history, and festivals that celebrate both survival and identity. The rhythms of ancient drums still resonate on the riverbanks, reminding visitors that cultural heritage runs as deep as the river itself. Sailors say the feluccas, those white-sailed boats that glide like leaves across the water, never lose their way near Aswan. The wind here obeys older rules, more ancient than the compass. And the Nubian children, sitting on the stone steps by the river, learn to read the currents from a young age, not through science, but through inheritance. Aswan needs no skyscrapers to impress. Its greatness lies in the balance between stone and water, ruin and energy, stillness and memory. It's a place that breathes history at every corner, yet pulses with the force of tomorrow's visions. Here, where the sand pauses to gaze at the river and the river widens into a lake, engineering meets the ancestral, and the present is built with the long shadows of the eternal. Because Aswan is not a city you simply pass through, it's a city that stays with you.